Hi everyone, welcome to Desteni Farm, and today we have Cerise.
Hi, everyone.
And today we're gonna ask a few questions for Desteni Farm for Cerise to answer. And the first one is, when did you come to the farm?
Well, since Bernard was my dad, he kind of pretty much since I was a kid, we always lived in a similar kind of setting, maybe not on a farm, but in a way where there were always a lot of people around. We were always doing a lot of different things, and yeah, so I could probably say that since I was a kid, I've been in this kind of environment.
Okay, so the farm isn't really a change for you, in other words.
Not really, no.
Not really, alright. Okay, cool. And then what made you to decide to stay currently on this farm?
Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where I am because what I'm committed to are the principles that Destiny stands for and the tools that we've been developing over the years. So this is where I am creating myself at the moment, and it's, yeah, it's home.
Alright. Okay, cool. Uh, what do you do here?
Well, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, so I do a little bit of a lot of things. I'm a buddy on the DIP website. I help manage the eQuaf website. I help manage social media. And then there are the things that I do on the farm, like helping to look after the animals. You could say that I'm one of the more knowledgeable animal health people. So if an animal's looking sick, then I'll take a look at them and say, okay, no, we need to go to the vet, or okay, let's try this. And I'm also one of the more knowledgeable horse people, so I help with looking after the horses and like trimming their hooves, for example, and etc., 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 things like that.
Well, that's a jack of all trades. Right, cool. So, what is the most challenging thing about living in a community?
Well, I think that the most challenging aspect of it is that being in this setting, you have to face yourself in all of these different ways and all these different contexts, and all the people around you bring out different parts of you that sometimes you don't want to look at. And those are the most difficult moments, when you are experiencing this conflict and you want to blame someone else, and getting to that moment of real self-reflection of seeing, okay, it's not actually about them, it's about me. That is probably one of the most difficult things, and because it's this setting, it happens pretty often. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty often, you say.
Well, I mean, more than if I was just somewhere with, one or two other people, like family members.
Yeah, here we have sometimes 10, 20 people.
Yes.
All right. So, what do you enjoy the most about Desteni Farm?
I can't really pinpoint any one thing, because everything about it comes together to create the space that I would like everyone in the world to have the opportunity to create for themselves. So we have the space to look after the animals who need to be looked after. We have space to develop ourselves. We have the space to help other people, and I think that's something that everyone should have. And I think that we also stand as an example of what is possible with developing relationships between people, what is possible in developing relationships between people and animals, and people and the earth, and even just our relationships with ourselves. Everything that we're doing is part of standing as that example of what can be possible for everyone if you choose to live that. So yeah.
All right. So, I'm gonna ask one more question.
Okay.
All right. What is the most challenging thing that you have found recently on the farm?
I think that would be when it's a lot of people sharing space. You have clashes of preference. So, like, I like to do things this way, and someone else likes to do things that way, and sometimes you have to reach a point of compromise. But sometimes getting to that compromise can be a little bit rocky. So I think that would be one of the more recent kind of things.
Then that's due to more visitors being here recently.
No, the visitors are actually the easy ones.
Okay.
Because there it's like, you know that they're going to be living in a different way because they've just come from somewhere very different to here. So it's more like the people who are always here, the people that you have to have your permanent daily commitments with. And so those are the difficult points. Like, for example, it's usually really small, silly things, but like cleaning up the dishes after yourself after you use it, or walking into the kitchen and seeing, okay, I need to use this pot to make dinner for everyone, but now it's dirty.
Yeah.
So it's things like that, and it's because it's little things, they tend to happen more often, and if you let them, they can build up to become and quite an emotional kind of charge. So I find that it's very important to, in those moments, as I'm going at someone else's whatever, then to stop and say, okay, wait, let me rather change how I'm looking at the situation. Let me change my approach to this, because I know that if I let myself go down that road, I'm just going to start building up resentment or anger or whatever.
Okay, so let's say you do find some dirty dishes that you need to use. What's the solution in that moment?
Usually what I will do is I will wash the dishes and use them.
And sometimes send out a message.
Yes, I might put a message on our communal chat saying, please remember to wash up after yourself, especially the communal things that we need to use for dinner. And but I make sure that when I'm writing that I'm not angry while I'm writing it, because people can tell. You can pick it up. You can feel it, even if it's just text on the screen. So yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, Cerise, for the interview.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to seeing more of you.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.